Hi everyone, you're watching Jana FX, and in this video I'm going to make technical analysis for the coming week for main pairs. But as usual, let's have a look what happened previously, and I will show you once again how I was drawing my levels and looking for possible entry points every day, pretty much during the week. Okay, so we are starting with euro-dollar as usual, and you can see this is after Monday. The market moved, and now we are looking at possible movements where it can go. So you remember I draw that level which is not exactly in the same area, so I draw a small one afterwards, and as we got another top, you can see where the market stops, and now I'm expecting it to move inside, and I can place possible pending orders, as you can see, below the level and above the level, but ignore the level you can see at the top. So on the pound dollar, also after the Monday, pound is still staying in the same channel where it's possible to place, once again, pending orders buy. As you can see, I'm showing it to you. This is where the possibility is about 20 plus about 10, 21, 22 pips above the level, but not sell yet. Dollar yen also, you can see after Monday moved, so we have it on Tuesday. I moved the levels, and now I can place the orders sell and also place the orders buy. So it's a pending orders once again, guys, pending orders. Australian dollar is sitting inside also below the level, so I can place possibly pending orders buy above the level, expecting possibly move it inside, and I can draw a bottom level too, but not just yet. Okay, Australia. So yeah, I can draw a level here, so possibly trying to put the pair inside the channel. So now going to dollar Canadian. As you can see, on Monday it just moved, didn't have any consolidation, so preparing for the Tuesday trades, and now going to see I can draw, you can see the horizontal level and another one, so trying to put the pair inside the channel also, right? So need a bit of correction using the tops of the candles and the bottoms of the candles, and possible moving and placing pending orders buy and sell from the levels. Euro pound, as you can see, that's what I was warning you about, as I would have expected to turn around in here and consolidate, and once again back into the area and placing the orders as usual. Okay, so now you can see gold is creating a bit of the panel. As you can see, I'm using the tops, so obviously the this level you can change, move it. I'm placing, like right now, using the absolutely tops and wings and the bottom. So you can see I have one bottom but not the second bottom yet. That's why, just looking at it, I'm going to draw the level roughly where I would think it might go and touch this level, okay, and create me a second bottom, because right now it did not create it yet. So this is just roughly I'm placing it to see. As you can see, I can't do it like this because there is no bottom yet, it's only started to create. So here I'm going to leave it, and possible creation of the triangle. And now going to pound yen, which also on Monday, as you can see, it moved. It didn't create anything, it just had straight movement. So I'm moving the levels. You just can see how I'm going to place new levels, okay, using the trend levels, and using the tops, okay, and I'm using the other bottom, and possibly another bottom where I can also expecting the possibility it might go straight now a little bit. You can see like straight little channel, and this level would be another possible placing pending order sale. Okay, so with this well, that's the preparation, because you can see it looks like we have a bit of the shoulder and this possibly head. So of course the first thing would be that the market will create a head, and here I have like a bit of a neck area, okay, so where the market can possibly go down. Okay, so now we have Wednesday, and you can see euro dollar did not break yet, but it stays between our levels, and the same pound dollar is also sits in the channel, and the same for dollar yen. It had a little breakout, so here if you would have placed orders, you would have made still about 10 pips, okay. If you're using my strategy, you can see it moved about 35 pips, which is fine. So you would walk away with at least 10 pips profit on that one. And now you can see I'm drawing another level and looking for another possible entry points. Once again, possible buy and possible sell. Pending orders, 20 pips above, 20 pips below of the levels. Australian dollar is getting closer to the top, so I can place pending orders buy. And now dollar Canadian, as you can see, it consolidated a bit, and this is a little move, which is also would have been enough if you would place pending orders sell. You see it moved about 40 pips, so at least 10 pips profit on this movement. So now it would be just a pretty much waiting time for me. Euro pound is still sitting in the area, so which means I can place also pending orders, okay, using the channel. And as you can see, gold moved and created pretty much double little bottom, see here. So I can already place my pending sell order, okay, slightly below the level, and possibly going to the next level. And also, of course, pending orders buy. So pound yen is, you can see it moved once again, moved about 40 pips, which means you could have made at least 10 pips. And now it sits above, which is also waiting time for its consolidation and using this level as a possible sell. We don't have much for placing the pending orders for buy. Okay, and now you can see euro dollar finally made a really good move. So this is where you would have get the good really profit using obviously this pending orders buy. So now it's a waiting time for, of course, a possible. It's possibly maybe reaching it. This level can be moved. As you can see, it's I'm adjusting. It can be going higher, expecting if the market will continue. But right now I can place it on using on the tops and see if it will do any consolidation at the level. Okay, so I can look for the next possible pending orders. Well, of course, it can also turn around straight away. So waiting time. For pound dollar, it's getting closer. So here we still would be having our pending order. And we can see you get dollar yen, how it's moved, it's broke. And now I would be waiting for some consolidation around this level now. Okay, so here there would be another profitable trade if you place sell pending order stop. Sell stop. So Australian dollar also, you can see it's had a move. It's also moved about 30 pips. So once again would have been at least 10 pips profitable trade. And now just waiting time. What is it going to do next? Is it didn't move too much, so I can draw another level and see if it's going to be our next possible creation of the channel. Okay. So and just waiting time. Dollar Canadian. So you can see it's broke the level. So here's the trade, and once again it's just a waiting time around the levels. Didn't create us anything. Euro pound obviously broke the level, so you could have made another profit. And now just a little bit waiting time, and possibly it will go higher or it will go back around. But we need to just have a little bit more time. And gold, obviously you can see it's moved. And moved up, so here would have been another profitable trade. So you would have been still in the trade and possibly going to the target area. So you can see it's it could possibly go and reach and maybe have a slowing down somewhere in the middle between the levels. But at this moment, so you would have been just in the trade and waiting time. So pound yen once again broke a level. You can see it broke first time and now it's broke the second time, so there could have been possibly another trade, and now just waiting time for a possible consolidation and just a waiting time. See if it will sit, create another shoulder, or will just be around the top level and will try to go back up. So just waiting time. So now you can see euro dollar pretty much didn't create anything, just fall straight away and just waiting time. Pound dollar is the same. Still would have been keeping the pending orders buy. Dollar yen, well, just started to have a bit of consolidation, waiting a little bit more. Australian is still the same, sitting in the new channel, just waiting time. Possible placing the pending orders buy, but at this moment nothing else. Dollar Canadian started to again have a consolidation, so you can see I'm using now once again placing the levels to see where possibly you can move. So I'm placing the top and the bottom, so this is a little like a pennant. Okay, so and once again, so see if it will go inside between the levels and possibly continue the way down, break, or going up. And euro pound, well, nothing at this moment for me. Gold, you can see, turned around and moved a little bit up, so you could have closed your profitable position. Now just waiting time for it to either come back in the area and consolidate, or just waiting time for where it's going to go and see what to do next. Pound dollar, as you can see, started to just sit in our channel, but there is nothing. Maybe it will create a shoulder or something else, but right now there is just nothing else. For me, it would have been just waiting time between these two levels. Okay, so and now the last days, you can see once again euro dollar moved slightly up, so I can draw another trend level. Okay, so and use that level for a possible breakout. So if it will continue like this, okay, so I can use it to place pending order sell, and of course if it will, for the possible pending order buy, I draw another level to see if it will sit and possibly can move up. So this is between these two levels, sell, okay, and buy. Pound dollar, can see nothing happened again, so once again it still sits in our channel. Dollar yen is also started to have a bit of consolidation. Have a small little channel which I can draw and to see where it's going to do. So you can here to consolidate around between those two levels and possibly once again go up or go by. There are also levels to for placing the possible pending orders. So now we are okay. So I'm just trying to do using the two tops. Two bottoms, and possibly trying to put it into a big pennant to see if it will try to break and go and touch the you can see the bottom. It's only 20 pips, so maybe waiting for some consolidation between those two levels before placing any pending orders. Okay, Australian dollar once again started to break out and small movements already. Dollar CAD again, as you can see, broke, so that would be another profitable trade. So maybe it will be stopped here, but just follow it. And euro pound started to go, and possibly maybe it will reach the target, but right now it would be nothing for me at that point. So and it would be just a bit of a waiting time really, so nothing else. So it's you can see it's moving. Can probably draw the level underneath and to look something about it. Gold is also it's turned around, didn't give anything now, waiting for some consolidation once again, maybe going up or going down, but just waiting time. And pound yen also started to consolidate, as you can see, and between the two levels in the same channel. And now we are back to euro dollar. Okay, you can see what happened on Friday. This is the levels where I draw and the market drop. This would have been a now profitable trade. And so now what would be I would be looking for, of course, started to have a bit of consolidation. So looking for a new entry point. So I don't need these levels anymore pretty much, so I can remove them, so it'll be a little bit more clear picture and see if it will start to consolidate here. I would rather, of course, like it more to go back into this area. That would be more reasonable as it have to be before, and do some consolidation here, and of course again placing orders, sell pending orders here, and buy orders up here. If it's not gonna do something like that, wouldn't consolidate around this area, maybe it will go back up a little bit, give a bit of correction, and then consolidate something around here between these two levels. So that would be now possible a position to look for some placing the pending orders. But this moment we're looking at this area, and of course if it will break that area and will go down, this would be the next level, and then we would have to draw a bit more of those levels to continue them further and see where it's going to go. And with this level, as you can see, as you saw previously, I showed to you at this moment I'm using this all the tops, but because we had a wing, so I could possibly move it a little bit higher, right, and see if that movement will go and touch that level maybe a little bit, or get finally to the trend level. Okay, so I'm going to leave it as it is at this moment. So now going to pound dollar. As you can see, pound dollar also broke and moved up, so that would be now profitable trade, and stopped around this area where we do have a little bit more of the mess here previously. But I draw that level at this moment because it will give me a little bit more of the opportunities to see for the next where to place pending orders, so the market can start possibly I will be waiting for consolidation maybe behind this, or if it will not, underneath, I mean, this level. And of course placing orders using at levels buy, and wherever it will move, painting orders sell. But if it will go inside between these two levels, it will be even more better. And then I will be using one level placing orders buy, and this level placing orders sell. So that's the pound dollar. And now we're going to dollar yen. You can see dollar yen just was sitting on Friday, didn't break any levels, it was just sitting inside it. So of course I will be looking if it possibly will continue sitting in here. I would use this level, placing pending orders buy, and possibly moving it, of course, to this level or to this little trend level. Depends how strong the movement, or if it will continue inside it, of course, using that level for a pending order sell. So that's dollar yen, and of course then we'll see where it's going to have a next stop and next consolidation. Australian dollar. So we do have Australian dollar was just again consolidating, a small breakout, and just sitting in. Could have just closed again with some very small 10 pips profit, but at this moment I will not draw the level because it might continue a little bit higher. We saw here a few different types of consolidation, so it might go and reach all of this, any of these areas, and then just start. Maybe it will consolidate wider, maybe it will just move and consolidate higher, or once again maybe it will consolidate below. That's why at this moment I just want to see where it will start to consolidate, as at this moment it just gives nothing pretty much. But we can see on a bigger picture, if we would go, remember I was telling you after this big movement, looking for the signal of changing the trend. So now finally this could possibly be a double bottom. Okay, so it started to create this, where I was telling you when here it was just first sign, but still not just yet. We're telling you don't buy just yet for a long term. So at this moment it could possibly already be a signal, but you never know, because it might turn around as a double bottom. It could also end up as a triple bottom, but at this moment this is where we are, and it's starting to give a bit of the double bottom pattern. But right now we're here just waiting for some consolidation. Dollar Canadian. Okay, so with dollar Canadian, you can see after that breakout, right, it didn't give anything, it didn't start to consolidate here, it just turned around straight away. And I still have this little levels just to see where it will start to consolidate. Maybe it will consolidate between these two levels, so it's enough space again to go for a small trade, or maybe it will break and go finally down to the level, maybe will give us like a double bottom too, or maybe it will just go up and be consolidated between these two levels. Would be looking a little bit like head and shoulders, not very strong, but right now here it's looking a little bit like a double bottom. So but we'll see. That's why I'm leaving it as this. Maybe it will have a little bit of that, of course, maybe a little bit move that level to see where it's going to have consolidation. Of course, at the same time it might create, who knows, maybe we'll do a flag or triangle. At this moment it's very early to say anything. It's just looking like a small correction, okay, of a big drop at this moment. So, which of course, don't forget, you can use Fibonacci levels, which I don't point out, but you can draw them and see where it can go. As you can see 23, that's what I'm saying, where it can start to consolidate here, then move 38.50, and we have 61 level, which is already pointed out at this red levels. I'm going to remove it so we don't have too many levels. So euro pound. Okay, so euro pound had a big drop, and well, obviously here it's created a little bit of the pattern on a bigger chart, but on 1 hour chart it didn't give me much, well, except it gave a little bit of the top, so kind of would have been looking like a double top, and possibly use that as a level of selling point. Placing the order. And so I draw now this trend levels. Okay, so you can see it's a downtrend because market didn't reach our previous level from the bigger chart, that red one, little one. So that's why I draw that, just to see if there is this real breakout. So maybe from here it will go back, will give us a little bit of correction. Maybe it'll go back up, maybe we'll do consolidation, and then afterwards will continue its way, or maybe it will go back in again. So as for that, it could be a good area once again to look at possible entry points. So where I would look for my consolidation now is of course around here. You see that level, that's why it's nice to have it based on the bottom. So it might start to consolidate underneath it, and then placing orders pending buy back up, and of course depends where it will go, pending orders sell. It might jump in, of course, or may just go back inside once again without any giving any signals. So we'll see. But where we're starting is from this area. So with gold, also you see it's just touched the level, okay, jumped up again and didn't do any concession and went down once again. So now I have this little level using these two tops, and I still have this level. So we'll see with this it's going to be helpful once again with the open market to see where it will go. If it will go, for example, it will touch that and then turn around, then it could possibly draw something like that. Well, depends where it will start to move. Maybe it will be like this, maybe it will go straight. So if it will go something like that, then it possibly just go for another trade to go down. You can see because we have like about 50 pips to go down to this level, and of course it can go break that and go up and continue finally and reach the well, pretty much target area. Possibly maybe it will go and slow down here somewhere, but that would be something like this. Of course at the same time it might just go down. Maybe it will have a little bit straight movements between these two. Then of course it would be useful to use that level as pending orders buy and using that level as pending orders sell. So that's my view on gold. And now going to pound yen. Also I removed all the levels. You can see it's still was sitting in the channel while using once again the channel as placing orders buy. You would have been in a trade, profitable trade, and well, depends, close it with some profit or just keep it. Well, I mean, the open market, of course, it can go back to the same area once again, do some consolidation here, maybe jump inside, consolidate. That's why I have these levels, and see if that movement will go back, then where it will consolidate, we can use all these levels once again. So if it might go just straight, or maybe it will go just a little bit higher, it's all we will see. If it will go in the middle, of course, could be possible to use this. But if you look previously, it was a lot of consolidation around the previous big level. So of course it might go all the way up and then start to do some consolidation around that area. Well, like I'm saying again, it could be beneath, could be above, could be in the middle, but if it will go up. So at this moment we are looking at this area and see if it will go back down. Then I would be looking at that area, if not somewhere in the middle. So that's it, guys. The all technical analysis for the coming week. If you like the video, don't forget to subscribe, like. Also, you can find me on Telegram, where I'll post also my videos, and so you might catch them better than catching them on YouTube. It's also Jana FX, the channel called on Telegram. And also, if you like to support my channel, you like my videos really, and want to reward me with my efforts, you can also go and support me on Patreon. Also, is you can find the link, all the links in the description under this video. And if you're interested in brokers, I will not recommend you exactly one particular, but you can go on my blog, janafx.com, and I have a list of not bad brokers. I've been recommended by my friends, the other traders, so you can go and check on those brokers. Okay, don't forget, like, subscribe. I see you next week. Happy trading. Bye, everyone.